Okay, geared up to take off on a pretty much week-long trip with the Can-Am. It's Tuesday. We got out later than we wanted to. Got more solar panels going, and yeah, hopefully it'll be a fun trip. I'll try to post along the way. Stay tuned. So out here with a bunch of other Can-Ams in the Deer Lodge forest areas. You can see the Can-Ams going up ahead there. Came across this old log cabin. Coming up on the line. Deer Lodge area. Coming up on the Can-Am 50-inch group. Wow, okay, everybody's lined up here. guys how fun it is doing this. Just what the Can-Am 50-inch in general is pretty awesome, but coming to this tunnel. I think we got some inception here. We're filming them filming us. I'm filming you filming me. You can see our crew going up the hill up there. That's where we're going, up there. This is really awesome ridge line. Look at the view you can see out there to the left and to the right. Coming up on some more mines. Lots of up there. doing good. All looks good. Bring kind of front wheel off the ground, but again, I think it has to do with the sway bar. Finally get to a 50-inch gate. This is where the fun should begin.
Arms inside the car at all times.
Might be a small water crossing ahead, if there is. So if you've never done a water crossing, you're missing out because they're fun. And there is unknown variables crossing waters. You don't know what's underneath the water. If you're the first in the group or you're by yourself, you really don't know exactly how fast the water is going, even if you think you do. We've nearly been swept away doing water crossings before on crossing waters that really looked like there was going to be no problem at all whatsoever. So it is an unknown getting into a water crossing. Key thing in any vehicle is you don't want to go so fast too that you splash water up in any electronics. So it's just a nice steady pace.
This is beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous. We got a nice slippery rock section right after you go through the water. Get your tires all wet, and you have the rocks to go over. Let's see what mine takes. No problem. Okay, now time for our turn. Nice and steady. We're going to get water in our floorboard. Very easy crossing. No. No problem. Old cabins, homestead along the trail. Okay, we're back to the same water crossing. Heads back. Everybody said they bumped their bottoms on this last time. I managed to not. Let's see if I do this thing or not. Here goes Rick. Okay, see how deep it is there. Definitely high enough to be getting into your floorboard. I better make sure I turn on my four-wheel drive there. There we go. formations everywhere. So this is they're kind of calling it a living goat town because some people actually still live here. This is Elkhorn, Montana. And I think a couple of these buildings are designated as Montana's smallest state park. I'm not sure which ones. Yep. Elkhorn, kind of on the way out, part of a mine. And we saw a mine over here to the left, so we get a better view of it. You can kind of see it up in there. We'll be coming back this way. I'll get a little bit more video. So this is one of the mines coming to with the group.
Well, what I did was there's a spot that where we ran and then turned around when he made the turn.
Yeah.
And that's what that was.
So
Stopping for a moment to let our vehicle ahead of us get ahead so that we don't eat too much dust. And right here where we're stopped, there's a butterfly right in the purple coneflower. Kind of cool. And time to get back on again. This is the last day on the Can-Am group. Saturday. These are not with our group, but that's okay. Nice little mountain lake. And our side-by-side is up here. We parked in the shade. This is just a little stop on the way. Okay, so it's Saturday night, and our meetup that we was part of is officially over. We was on this trail a few days ago, and you'll have seen the video of this earlier on this video. And while we was out here yesterday, was it yesterday? We was out here yesterday. We lost one of our radios on this trail, but also this was like the most fun trail that we have been on. So we're back here again to do the trail again, but also see if I can find my handheld radio that I lost. But I'm not really worried about it. This is a true 50-inch trail, and this bridge is right at just over 50 inches wide. And there's quite a few of these, so you're not going to get onto this trail really unless you have a 50-inch side-by-side or ATV. There's a sign for it. So anyway, we're still on that real high trail. It's starting to rain a bit. We knew it would, but we have a tarp to throw over the vehicle if we need to, and we have all of our emergency supplies. We're in near the area where we lost the radio, so we're going to go a bit and see. So we're on that trail. The rain's starting to come down hard enough to get things kind of wet, so we've pulled our tarp over our side-by-side for a little bit here. It's just supposed to rain for a very, very short period of time. We'll let that go over, and then we'll get back out on it. Okay, so it's 15 minutes into it. You can see we're getting quite a bit of rain underneath the tarp here. There's been this orange tarp has been really good because there's been a whole bunch of people go out, so we were heading in. Of course, we did know that the rain was going to be here, and we knew that it could last for 30 minutes to an hour, possibly. So we took our chances, but a whole bunch of people are basically escaping out, have passed us, and with it being we got off the trail, and with being this thing being bright orange, everyone sees us. It's interesting seeing the people go by that are in on motorcycles or ATVs, you know, so they don't have any cover at all. They're soaked, but they'll get out. The weather's not cold or nothing like that, of course, but it's going to get cold pretty quick if you're wet and driving. We expect this probably won't last more than 10 or 15 minutes more, but we will see. Right now it's a little bit died down a lot from what it was just a little bit ago. It lasted for 37 minutes. There's some super light sprinkles now. We are dry. We got a ways to go, to see if we can find that radio. If we do, great. If we don't, that's okay too. But we're on. Okay, so we went past the area where the last known area that I had that radio, and we did not see it. It's not the end of the world. It was a radio identical to this one. These went for about $130. They're GMRS radio. There's a good radio. I didn't really come back just because of the radio, and I'm not upset that I didn't find it. And there's still some chance that we'll see it on the way back. But this gave us another excuse to run this trail, which is really great. And you know, having the rain pour down with the 37 minutes undercover was not bad. If anything, it adds to the adventure. We're gonna head way back now. It's wet. If we had known it was going to, look at the view too. If we would have known that it was going to get rainy like that and the ground and stuff was clay that gets really super slippery when it gets wet, I would have made the decision not to do it. But the dirt around here just is not really clay. Doesn't really get that slippery. On the way back on that Rawhide Trail, and this trail just feels like a whole new trail with everything being wet, just because the colors are so vibrant. Of course, the trail experience is just a little bit different, but the traction's a little bit different. Although this is not a bad trail at all. It's definitely a 50-inch trail, but I ran the entire thing on two-wheel drive, and even with it being a little bit wet, I'm still running on two-wheel drive. So if it gets bad, I can always go to four-wheel drive, but I haven't needed to.
It smells good.
What's that?
And it smells good.
Oh yeah, it smells great after the rain. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to get out in a situation like this. You know, just make sure that when you go out, make sure you have a way to cover up if it rains, a way to start fire if you need to, and you know, good dry clothes and all that kind of stuff. And in our case, we carry a sack on as well. Bag. Check out this view. It's just absolutely incredible. This entire thing shot on the iPhone, so I don't know if the iPhone really captures the beauty of it, but this is just absolutely stunning after the rain. Okay, we are on our way back from the Can-Am meetup, and you can see we got our tarp spread out on the ground here that we used to cover up during the rain, and another tarp. And that's basically just because we're stopped here to have lunch, and these didn't get dried out properly, so they're just out there so they can get dried out. It's really humid right now here, but those will still dry up there. We pulled out our Camp Chef grill and grill top, VersaTop and grill top, cooking a couple burgers. Our chairs here. It's 12:58, so there's not a whole lot of shade, but we picked an area where we got some shade coming from the mountain. I should get it bare a little bit here. And we got our National Luna back here in the back of the cargo area. And I know that's not showing up on the camera, but we got -20 Celsius over here and -3 Celsius over here. This National Luna has been wonderful. So yeah, we're just gonna stop here, have a couple burgers, maybe make us a cup of coffee, and then we're probably gonna unload the side-by-side and just go explore. And then, you know, whether we're going to camp in the area or not depends on what campsites we have. We might head on back home, we might camp. We're just kind of playing it by ear. In case you saw and wondered what the rocks are for, the VersaTop gets hot enough that it will melt the table, and so I always just use rocks to balance out the corners. It seems to work well. And I'll come back. We are in the Helena State Forest. It says we're entering Hiddleston Mining District, founded about 1889. Hiddleston Mining District by laws, rules, regulations applied to date. Approximately 35 square miles. MMAC approved mining district.
That was
past that sign. You can see the trees across it. It looks like there might be a whole dug ahead of it, more trees. The problem is in Montana, when you get to areas like this, where they're uprooted and you start clearing trees, it's usually a lot worse further back. So we're going to go ahead and turn back and see what we find. Definitely Forest Service type roads, but still a nice area to explore around the Helena National Forest. Getting there over here.
We can get under it.
Kind of, yeah, tree down, but then we get underneath it. Don't be close whether we can do it without snapping a branch, but I think we can. Yeah, watch your face. That's up close and personal. You ever need to start a fire in the wood, this moss right here is awesome for it. I can't see in the video, but there's a black bear down there. I'm trying to see him. I can kind of see him.
There he is. Buddy.
He's looking at us. I'm not sure if I'm getting on video or not. I don't think I am. He's gone. It's very cool. Came with one of black, what do you think? Brown bear. That's
Black
it.
bear.
Is it black bear?
This is
The Helena National Forest up here in the Can-Am. This has absolutely been wonderful area. You can see the views. Maybe they just go on forever. We don't have quite 360 degrees because we're not all the way up to the top of the mountain, but really super gorgeous up here. Weather is 78 degrees, and yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. And you know, we saw that little black bear. I guess he was probably a big black bear, but pretty cool to see him. I'm sorry we didn't get better video of him. I mean, he probably didn't show up in the video at all. But it's always really excited to see him. I think it's the second bear we've seen this season.
Yes.
Yeah, second bear we've seen this season. No grizzlies or anything yet this year, just black bears. Little structure coming across here on the trail. Very neat. Not sure how old it is, but little structure off the side of the trail. And there was one back there behind us I didn't get video of, but these things are just all over the place. Really cool. As you can tell, it's log construction. Other log cabin I mentioned, headed all the way back. You can see what's left of it. It's really very cool. There's probably some old appliances or whatever in there smashed underneath it. Very interesting. This pass, just up above this area where we're at, was the coldest recorded temperature in U.S. history in the continental United States.
72 below.
Yeah, 70 below. 70 below zero was recorded. So can you imagine living in one of these log homes and it getting down to 70 below zero? Structure.
Oh, yeah, it's still standing.
It's in pretty good shape. Not very big, but pretty good shape. Probably, if I had to guess, maybe 10 foot by 14 feet. Pretty cool. And here we are at yet another old structure. Very cool. And we've seen these at a couple places around. I don't know if they was for some kind of, they're obviously not too old because they're using piping and square tubing, but they look like they could have been used for some kind of communication or maybe for science, but we've seen several of them. Coming back on our camper, we kind of explored the area here pretty good. We're going to move on to the next area. If we're lucky, we'll find a place to camp where we can do some side-by-side exploring in the morning. Well, in a new area, between Sealy Lake and Swan Lake, and we took the side-by-side off the camper so we could hunt a camping spot. We found a really awesome camping spot, and you probably can't see it now, but there's really awesome mountain views back behind this. But this is not our camping spot. This was just where we offloaded to find the camping spot. This is our campsite for the night. If you listen, you can hear. Okay, I hear you. You can hear creek So where our camp spot is right by this creek, which is absolutely gorgeous. This water is so clear you can see right through it. So we'll be listening to that tonight. And if you've watched before, you've seen we've done pizza on a campfire, but with fire risk being extreme, we're using our cook chef. And the dough we had was partially frozen, partly wasn't frozen, wasn't very good. So we're going to try cooking it on this cast iron skillet in this. This is not the ideal way to do it. Usually, if I was going to do it, I actually would not do it on the skillet at all. I just do it flat on the grill. So we're going to see how it works. But I'll get back with you and we'll see. Another view of that river, or it's actually a creek. It's called Beaver Creek. We're camping right by, so we either hear this all night long. Okay, I think the pizza is going to work. I think it came out pretty dang good. Maybe not perfect, but the crust is pretty good.